everybody. We have a visitor for our vlog. Do we not have a visitor for our vlog? Not sure if the mic picked any of that out, but mid-year freak out 2026. Let's do this. It's been a year. Welcome on in, everybody. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references, such as the Myrna Annals, Vitae Langica, and more. And alongside what I do help my characters do throughout time and space, I help other soul bards, such as yourself, do what you love to do most, in your pace, in your time, in your stride, because there really is no other way. And that's where she's going to decide to stay, I think, for the entire length of this vlog. Hi! Talk about a talking head video. Yes, you. Alright, girl child. I came prepared, not just with her, but with questions. I was wondering if you were going to go there anyway. So, question number 1. If you've seen None Since the musical, you recognize that. Anyway, did you set any writing goals at the beginning of 2026? What were they? Are you on track? Yes. I'm actually... Because of how things went with Vehicle this year, I was planning to do more travel during the end of June, and I had lined up to add some more dates, and then the vehicle I normally use to go to said events, so I'm ahead of schedule. I'm ahead of schedule on my production stuff. I've been drafting new stuff ahead of schedule so far. Now, it's good, because I've taken my not travel weekends, and I just said, if I do anything, it's gravy. If not, and I rest and I clean, so be it. So it worked to my advantage. I like to think 3 to 5 books a year, on average 4 books a year. Plus or minus 1 either way. I delayed a book in 2025 from November to January. So technically that counts as 1 book for 2026. Then I had another one in March. Because I've done Vitae Langica 1, Vitae Langica 2, and yeah, my third one on October the 10th is going to be coming out. That is going to be book 6. I thought about putting out another novella. Well, Slices and Sheets did also go out this year. So technically that's 3. Yeah, technically that's 3, because Slices and Sheets went out. I keep forgetting Slices and Sheets went out in June. Because it was really a quieter soft launch for it. So technically I'm on my 4th. I'm on track and / ahead. The other thing I have coming down the pipeline is in February 2027, my first book in my Faded Design series, which is a way to use, basically the concept is metaphysical practices for writing, book by book. The first one is on tarot, similar decks and dice, and the second one, I'm not telling you what it is until February. We'll put it that way. So I also have another pen name that I'm getting ready to launch, and some of you are like, Jenna, welcome to my life. I have had a lot of free time on my hand this year, because my weekends, when I'm not traveling, what I normally do in between like cleaning stuff is I'll sit down and work on stuff. If I wish. So I'm really excited, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to sharing. Question number 2, if not already covered, what are you currently working on, and how much writing have you done so far? Book 6 of the Myrna Annals Season 2, Legacy of Lyric and Time. Oh my. Oh my god, my brain has gone so much up and down. Interstate 68, 70, and 695. If you live in Maryland, you know what path I'm talking about. That's how you get from Allegheny County, Maryland to Baltimore. So my brain has been all over Maryland instead of all over Europe lately, and whew, just as much traffic problems, I can promise you that. So 7 is I keep rewriting parts of 7. 7 is going to be fun. Spoilers! There's a grandbaby showing up, and one of the guys from season 1 a very protective granddaddy. We're going to leave it at that. And it's been interesting, watching him become grandfather first. Well, actually not first, because it's a couple of them becoming, they all should, read my books before I give you more spoilers. But yes, watching some of my characters become grandparents has been intriguing, not just parents. I also have started book 2, like I said, of Fated Design, Vitae Langica 3. I realize there's some stuff that happens in books 6, 7, and 8 of season 2 that impact Vitae Langica 3. So I had to put a pause on Craig and Tegan's story a little bit. Craig is okay with this. Tegan is not. I love writing for Tegan. Craig is about as painful, if not more so, than writing for Bjorn. Bjorn and I have gotten comfy with each other since he's become a father. Because he's just less thorny to be around. Ask the Rosie married. Anyway, so therefore, new pen name stuff. I just finished the 0 draft of its second book earlier this week, and I have the third one. I'll outline it, whatever. What I want to do on this new pen name is get 3 to 4 books ahead of myself and not start publishing any of it until I'm a good box set ahead of myself. Why? I want to see if that method works for me, nothing more. Because it's working for this pen name, I want to get ahead on the other 2. And it also allows for the fact that if life happens, like it did with the vehicle. So, question number 3. Have you reached any milestones so far this year? Can be word count, stages in your project, and other events of life as a writer. Mythicon was amazing in February. I am looking forward to going back to Mythicon. Mythicon this past year, I got to connect with so many cool people who are business owners in other areas who taught me so much about just running business that other writers would not have had the lessons to give, if that makes sense. By sheer nature of what we do in our businesses, some of their tips and tricks were so insightful. But also during Mythicon, I had a conversation with quite a personage. His name's Superman. He is an indigenous hip-hop artist, dancer, and check out his channel, link below. He took time before first day opened, outside of his regalia, in normal skivvies, as my dad would say, normal street clothes, and just walked around, and he took a solid 5-10 minutes and spoke with every single vendor, one-on-one, before it got busy. And I was telling him about my books, and just some of the things that he said. Thank you. Thank you as a fellow creator who uses words for seeing that we have a lot of overlap in what we're trying to do with those words. Because that thought, wow, that has helped me a lot. So I count that as a milestone. I also have had the joy of knowing what it's like at 4 State Comic-Con this year to to sell out of my entire stock on multiple things, and that was the first event where somebody walked up to me multiple times and said, I either got this question, I'd like to buy all 5 books in season 1, my heart, or I had a couple people say, I'd actually like to buy a copy of every single book you own currently in stock, and I'm like, that what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. I mean, thank you. Sorry for my reaction. Thank you for the offer. My heart. It's such a tiny milestone. The first couple times and every time after, therefore, in my opinion, I like to take a moment and go, whoo, and marinate in it for a moment. Because it proves that the risks are worth it. And, I've been flirting with 2K on this channel for months. Flirting with 2K on this channel for months. And yeah, I know what it's like to teach 2,000 kids a school year because COVID gave me that many virtually on my roster for a couple years in a row. To think that there's 2,000 adults out there, 2,000 people over the age of 18 who willingly want to listen to me do what I'm doing right now without being required by law to be there to listen. Thank you. That matters way more than all of you could even fathom to think. Okay. We can do this because we're only on question number 4. No unleash, Jenna. What does your... And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Number 4, what does your writing routine look like right now, if you have one? What has changed since the beginning of the year or the previous year? Are you happy with it? If not, and what would you want it to look like? Writing, I feel like I'm writing about as much now as I did when I was in college as a literature major and a research writing assistant. I write about as much as I do now when my homework every week was 5 to 10 essays. Because I didn't just take 5 classes at 3 credits. I usually carried 20 plus credits every semester. Because I got a bachelor's and a master's in 4 years. Put it that way. That was the goal. That is why. That is the goal. I got 2 degrees in 4 years. So yeah, my writing routine, I do so much writing. I am having more moments of looking down at my word count at the end of writing sessions and go, how is that number that big? Because I'm just not paying attention to it. When I started looking at I need to do at least 2 writing projects a day and do something with them for 2 sprints each, I started doing so much more. For me, I know I tend to overwrite. And when I was tracking the word counts, there were some projects, I'm looking at you, book 3, where sometimes I got hung up on the word count being what mattered. The word count does not matter. It's what you do with the words that's going to matter to your readers. And when somebody said that to me in one of my own public chats in the middle of, God, that would have been a while back. It's the middle of winter within the last year or so, put it that way. They pointed that out. I said, you're right. My readers are not going to care necessarily how many words my original drafts were. They're just going to care what I do with the words. So I just started looking at what can I do with my most valuable resource, which is my time. Money is not my most valuable resource. Writing is a great tool. It's not my most valuable resource. My time is my most valuable resource. So what am I doing with my time? As much as what am I doing with those words through the time I spend. That has been a really, 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 really great brain readjustment. So, what other things do I still need? I still need a drink, and I still need a snack, and I still need music, and I work best when there's some aromatics going on. For those of you who are not aware, my directly 8 feet that way, being generous, not even. 8 feet that way, maybe, is my altar, per se. The space in the room where I keep my spiritual stuff. Yes, I keep one right in my business office, and it's an old dresser. So it takes up a little bit of space. And I always, when I come into work, to me, lighting my candle is like telling my goddesses, let's go. Because if you didn't know, the goddess for whom Neftiri is named, Nephthys, she one of my ladies. She one of my homie goddesses, if you will. So that's a reason why, I kind of did something in her homage, because she often gets forgotten. I understand what that's like as a fellow youngest child. We often get forgotten. And the next question, number 5, says, have you encountered any good resources that have helped your writing? Intuitive Editing and Intuitive Author by Tiffany Yates Martin. If you haven't read them, I do dare suggest doing so. Another good resource for a writer. Not just Tarot for Writers. I love that book. I absolutely love that book. Don't get me wrong. But this one. The Complete Guide to Tarot. It's one of the oldest texts out there on what is tarot spreads and like breaking down each card. What I like about this one is it breaks down why the images are the images they are by symbology per certain cultures. So if you are like me and you like to write a multicultural lens and you're not exactly getting the meaning out of a card, go look at some of the original meanings back according to Rider-Waite-Smith and Marseille. That would be my suggestion as well. Number 6, if you write with a playlist, my favorite question, and one of my favorite numbers. If you write with a playlist, what is your current go-to for songs to get you into writing mode? I'll link them below. Vice Network is a video game Let's Play channel where they do commentary-free playthroughs of older and some newer, mostly older video game titles. They have things such as Suikoden, such as Legend of Dragoon. Some of you are like, oh god, these are older. Secret of Mana. They, of course, have the Final Fantasy stuffs. But it's just some games that I haven't heard of since I was a kid applies. And just having that as background noise has been so helpful for writing Vitae Elangica. Another thing I've been listening to a lot is Windrose. They are dwarven metal. I don't know how else to explain them, but they are dwarven metal. One of their songs has been stuck in my head, and I'm so sorry if anybody in live stream hears me singing, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole. My werewolves are stuck on that song in my head. And Bjorn and Rochelle have made a lot of pups. And it's like a chorus of werewolves singing this song to each other. I'm like, you're not even dwarves. You've got Norse Viking and Swedish Viking in you, but you're not dwarves. So, if you need a new band, Windrose. Highly suggest. Of course, Charlotte Vessels is putting out a new album, too. Gotta recommend her if I'm talking about the rose that Bjorn married. Number 7, toughest moment related to your writing so far this year. I've been spending a lot of time alone. Despite my tour schedule, I spend 8 hours plus a day all by myself sometimes. And I know it's not healthy. Yes, I have tried to reach out and change it. I've had to accept I'm not the easiest person to be around lately, and I have a lot to go through before that changes. So, 8, best memory related to your writing so far. 4 State Comic-Con. See above. You already got that reaction. Number 9, something important that you've learned or advice for your future self. I miss going on writing retreats with other friends where all we do is go get food and sit down and put random stuff on in the background and write in each other's company. I had 2 really good friends, both of whom know the stories I'm writing. And I've been missing the camaraderie, the nostalgia of it all. 10. What would you like to accomplish with your writing during the second half of the year? Stay on track with my publishing schedule. We'll word it that way. That's not what my note originally said, but in hindsight of what I actually said out loud, stay on track. And also, repeat the success I had at 4 State Comic-Con at other events. I know that a few author friends of mine went to events that were exclusively book events where they were told to prepare for 300 to 3,000 and only 30 people showed up. That has been happening way too often, and it is why I pulled back, not just from several book events, but from several other types of events in general. I realized when I can do MagFest, one of the biggest events on the East Coast, and they were asking half of what lesser known events were charging for lesser foot traffic, I said, I got to be careful where I go. There were several events this past year where I did pay $200 to $300 to be there, and the foot traffic was not what they said it was going to be. So I understand that. My pockets felt that big time this year, and it's why I pulled back from several events. There's one event in particular where they asked for $500 for a 10 by 10 space, and I said, no. No, thank you. Not unless you have the attendance to match. And I've talked to several other, not just authors, but craft vendors, people who do leather and woodworking and baked goods, you know, stuff that's going to sell at a higher price than what I would sell, or just sell faster in general. And even they said, no, I wouldn't do a show that big where you know that vendors walked away from past shows not even breaking even. So I do have my worries about going to Fable. I'm excited about going to Fable. This is my first time there. It's a newer festival. And I know book exclusive festivals have been struggling, and this is more a book exclusive festival. So if you would like to see me, York, PA, later this month, I will be there, and I will be giving a realistic look at it and a realistic share about it. On top of that, like literally 2 weeks later, I'll be back at Oaken Mist for my second year. And the last I heard, this could have changed. The last I heard, at the moment, I think I'm the only author that I'm aware of that's going to be there. So come track down your bard for the weekend. That's going to be in Carroll County, Maryland, Westminster, Maryland, because they were in Howard County and they moved basically like one county over. It's not that much further from my house. It's like maybe 15 minutes more from my house. So on that note, everybody, who am I tagging? Anybody who wishes to do. I know last year I tagged a bunch of people. I think this year I'm a little behind on doing it. So if you haven't done it yet and you want to brag on you and check in how have you gone since last summer/winter, depending on what part of the world you're in, please take care of yourself. The world really does indeed need our voices. And my dear fellow ladies, give the world your rage in words. It's a sword for a reason. Do not be afraid to use it.